Hello, and welcome to the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network's organization overview. This video will introduce how the organization first got started, our goal and mission, challenges and strategic approach, the power of volunteers like yourself, and helpful resources. As you heard in the History of PanCAN video, Pam Acosta Marquardt is our fearless founder. Her mom was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in June of 1996 and passed 6 months later in December. When Pam searched online, she could not find any organizations that focused on pancreatic cancer, and that is when she became involved with Johns Hopkins as a board member for pancreatic cancer. It was only 1 year later when she saw that a lot of celebrities had died of pancreatic cancer, saw what had happened with the AIDS movement, and found out that a doctor at Hopkins named Dr. Goggins wanted to study pancreatic cancer but did not have the funding to create a lab. All of these factors combined led Pam to organize a black tie gala in 1998. The event brought in about $104,000, and Pam committed about $100,000 of that to Hopkins to open this lab. It was in February of 1999 that Pam founded the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. The Pancreatic Cancer Action Network's Board of Directors jointly oversees the activities of the organization. The chair of our Board of Directors is Jeannie Weaver-Rusch, and also on the board is Julie Fleischman, our President and Chief Executive Officer. It's only with the guidance, direction, and support of our Board of Directors that we are all able to work together as we do to reach and surpass our goals. We were founded in 1999 and currently have over 140 staff members. We are very proud to say that for the 15th consecutive year, we have earned a 4-star rating, which is the highest ranking possible, with Charity Navigator, a leading charity evaluator. Less than 1% of the many thousands of charities rated by the organization have achieved this milestone. We currently have 3 offices. Our main office is located in Manhattan Beach, California, and our other 2 offices are in New York City and Washington, D.C. On the volunteer front, we have local efforts across more than 70 volunteer communities nationwide. Between our staff, volunteers, and partners, we have created a nationwide network of people dedicated to our mission of working together to advance research, support patients, and create hope for those affected by pancreatic cancer. In 2011, we put a stake in the ground that our goal is to double the survival rate, and we are making progress. The percentage has gone from 6% in 2011 to 9% in 2017. We are headed in the right direction. This year, in 2019, the 5-year survival rate remains at 9%. This just reinforces the need for us to continue to accelerate progress. And part of our plan for accelerating progress is that PanCAN is taking on larger research and clinical initiatives, like Precision Promise and the Early Detection Initiative, which we will cover during this presentation. These big, long-term efforts are important to helping the field accelerate progress and change the way the researchers, clinicians, and pharmaceutical industry currently tackles problems like drug development for pancreatic cancer. PanCAN is playing a key role in disrupting the status quo, but as we take on these big initiatives, we require more funding. We've identified 6 challenges to accelerating progress in the fight against pancreatic cancer. We also refer to these challenges and their solutions as our case for support. The first challenge is that there are not enough researchers focused on pancreatic cancer. This has changed tremendously since the organization was founded, when there were no researchers and no community. Today, there is a growing, vibrant pancreatic cancer community, and PanCAN has played a large role in creating that community. But we need to increase the dollars available to the researchers. The scientists will follow the money, and we need to make more available so that more enter the field. Second, patients are diagnosed too late. 81% of patients are diagnosed once their disease has spread, which makes it far more difficult to successfully treat. The next challenge, in the U.S. this year, 56,770 people will be diagnosed with all types of pancreatic cancer. Of that number, 52,796 will be diagnosed with pancreatic adenocarcinoma, and only just over 4% of those patients will enroll in clinical trials. This is why it's so important for us to increase that enrollment rate. Clinical trials are research studies that test new medical treatments and screening or prevention tools. Our organization has the most up-to-date and comprehensive database of pancreatic cancer clinical trials in the country. Patient Central associates and case managers provide personalized clinical trial searches of this database so that people can find trials they may be eligible for. 11,000 people contact our patient services program annually, which is more contact with patients and family members than any institution across the country. Challenge 4, the current clinical trial system doesn't match what patients need. We've discovered that through molecular profiling, there are targeted treatment options that can lead to better outcomes. Additionally, patients need second-line and third-line options in clinical trials. The 5th challenge, there's insufficient knowledge about the disease and many doctors lack experience with treating the disease, so they're not always up to speed on the most recent treatment options, research updates, or additional services that are available to patients going through this diagnosis. Last but certainly not least, not enough people know about the disease or PanCAN and the services that are available. We've organized ourselves under these 3 strategic themes to address the 6 challenges: improve patient outcomes, become the go-to organization for pancreatic cancer, and raise $50 million annually. Remember the 6 challenges as we identify our plan of attack. Not enough researchers or resources, so we need to increase and influence private and government funding for research. Patients are diagnosed too late, so we absolutely must educate about signs, symptoms, risk factors, and develop an early detection strategy. Clinical trial enrollment rate is too low, so naturally we need to increase the clinical trial enrollment rate. Traditional trials aren't rapidly producing new treatment options, making this a risky drug development space. This means that we need to influence smart, efficient, and cost-effective trials. There is insufficient knowledge of the disease and how best to treat it. Therefore, we need to collect data, generate knowledge, and make it widely available. And finally, not enough people know about the disease in PanCAN, so we need to heighten public awareness, engage more people, and raise more money. Let's talk about the first step, increase and influence private and government funding for research. We have 2 sources of funding, private funding and federal funding. Private funding comes from all the fundraising we do through events, direct response, major gifts, and planned giving. These funds go towards our programs. And when we look at where research funding for pancreatic cancer research comes from, 80% of it comes from the federal government. So while PanCAN funds private biomedical research, the organization also conducts essential and impactful grassroots advocacy work in order to augment private research with increased federal funding for pancreatic cancer. Our goal is to increase pancreatic cancer research by increasing the overall amount the federal government spends on cancer research. If the overall cancer research funding pie increases, there will be a larger piece of the pie for pancreatic cancer research. As a direct result of the funding PanCAN has received, we've been able to invest over $47 million to provide 174 grants to 170 scientists across 64 institutions. Because patients are diagnosed too late, we need to educate about symptoms and risk factors and develop an early detection strategy. PanCAN's educational efforts take many forms. Ultimately, we always make referrals to Patient Central for more information to learn more about familial pancreatic cancer and familial studies. Yes, we want to educate the public, but we also want to do something about it by recommending testing if appropriate, recommending specialists, and more. We have a thoughtful campaign each November during Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month, which integrates World Pancreatic Cancer Day. We also utilize Pancreatic Cancer Clinical Trials Awareness Month each January as a way to educate the general public. One way we aim to create this brighter future is by investing resources in the right track. which is a strategic model designed to engage and educate patients about precision medicine and the need for genetic testing. The Right Track model focuses on key steps any cancer patient should take to ensure the best treatment outcome. For pancreatic cancer patients specifically, this means having the right team. Seeing pancreatic cancer specialists and physicians who diagnose and treat a high volume of pancreatic cancer patients improves outcomes. PanCAN strongly recommends consultation with pancreatic cancer specialists who have experience in diagnosing and treating the disease. Having the right tests. Know all available treatment options. Every pancreatic tumor is different, so we strongly recommend molecular profiling of tumors to help determine the best treatment options. And finally, the right treatment. Consider clinical trials at every treatment decision. Pancreatic cancer patients who participate in clinical trials have better outcomes. Every treatment available today was approved through a clinical trial. So PanCAN strongly recommends clinical trials at diagnosis and during every treatment decision. Currently, there is no early detection method for pancreatic cancer. However, Solid Science has identified that 25% of patients with pancreatic adenocarcinoma were previously diagnosed with new onset diabetes. This makes new onset diabetes the only screenable risk factor for pancreatic cancer. This fact has led to our early detection initiative, which aims to create a research data set, screen patients, show stage shifts, and ultimately develop an early detection protocol. In partnership with the National Cancer Institute and other stakeholders, we have a real opportunity to accelerate time to pancreatic cancer early detection protocol available in our health system. The next step is to increase clinical trial enrollment rates. Patient Services is the premier source for pancreatic cancer patients and their family members to get information and resources about the disease. The goal of the program is to educate and empower patients and their caregivers so that they can be informed of all of their options. Every time an individual calls the Patient Services program, they are reconnected with the same case manager so that they can continue their conversation. They provide information on other treatment options, diet and nutrition, support resources, symptom management, and much more. Patient Services also recommends that all patients consider clinical trials when exploring their treatment options. They also assist with finding the best trials for them. In a recent study, 75% of pancreatic cancer patients' doctors did not recommend clinical trials, and 33% of pancreatic cancer patients had misinformation or not enough information about clinical trials. PanCAN maintains the most comprehensive and up-to-date database of pancreatic cancer clinical trials available in the United States. While we know that when patients call into Patient Central, they are more likely to enroll in a clinical trial, we still face the challenge that clinical trials don't always match what the patient needs, and we have to promote smart clinical trials in order to produce better patient outcomes. So what do we mean by smart clinical trials? Well, there are challenges around current clinical trials. Drug development takes time and money. They don't learn which patients are most likely to benefit from which drug, and they don't provide another treatment for a patient when the current treatment stops working. This means that smart clinical trials would be a better collection of data, efficiently test new drug and combinations, and process the information much faster in order to benefit the patient's treatment experience and options. Through Patient Services, we are not only able to help patients find good treatment options, but we're also able to learn from their experiences to help future patients. That led to our Know Your Tumor initiative. At a high level, patients who meet specific eligibility requirements may go through our program for molecular profiling. A report with recommended treatment options is then shared with the treating physician, with the patient, and with Patient Central. We are then able to input results into the patient registry so that the data can be analyzed. Know Your Tumor has opened the doors to smart trials. PanCAN is uniquely positioned to lead a model of collaboration amongst researchers, clinicians, trial experts, and drug developers. The FDA recognizes the promise of adaptive clinical trial platforms and believes there is a role for patient advocacy organizations in facilitating them. PanCAN wants to rapidly accelerate progress, which must include disrupting the current trial process. PanCAN is a trusted and unbiased stakeholder to launch the first ever adaptive clinical trial platform for pancreatic cancer. Precision Promise is a PanCAN-sponsored adaptive trial platform with multiple study arms and control arms. Clinical, correlative, and outcomes data is tracked longitudinally and analyzed together across 14 sites. This platform provides a smaller sample size, re-randomization of patients, and ability to drop and add treatment protocols. The trial design has been pre-approved through discussions with the FDA, including two-stage design with graduation. These here are the 14 Precision Promise sites that were selected through a competitive process. Our final focus in improving patient outcomes is collecting data, generating knowledge, and making it widely available. Collecting information is the foundation to determine best practices. PanCAN's patient registry is a global database created to look for patterns in treatments, side effect management, and diagnostics that will lead to improved treatment options and outcomes for all patients. Patients or caregivers can record the patient experiences in the registry in a secure and private environment. With permission, this information can be shared with researchers to learn from their experience, and findings are published and disseminated to clinicians that treat pancreatic cancer patients. One recent finding from the patient registry surrounds the administration and use of pancreatic enzymes, which help with food digestion. What we learn is that there are cases where the instructions on how to use these enzymes is not clearly communicated to the patient, or the patient does not use them correctly. In comparing the alleviation of symptoms like a feeling of indigestion in patients who took the enzymes correctly, which is taking them during meals, and those who did not, there was data to demonstrate that those patients have improvement in their symptoms. This may seem obvious, but by having data that supports this, it's being presented at national meetings, and we were able to publish a paper so that we can improve how these enzymes are being prescribed and taken to help pancreatic cancer patients feel better, avoid weight loss, and thrive. Information shared within Patient Central, accessing databases, our research initiatives, and the partnerships we forged through our grants program all lead back to data. This is the required data that enables us to identify these best practices and disseminate them across the country, creating awareness and bringing attention to the issue. And last but certainly not least, to become the go-to organization for pancreatic cancer and raise $50 million annually, we must heighten public awareness, engage more people, and raise more money. Community engagement is key to becoming the go-to organization for pancreatic cancer and raising $50 million annually, which will lead to improving patient outcomes. To become the go-to organization, we need to increase outreach and engagement. Our outreach efforts are widespread and include our grassroots volunteer network, marketing, websites, and social media, traditional media, influencers and celebrities, and treating physicians and institutions. Through these outreach efforts, we reach patients, healthcare professionals, researchers, people who have a reason to care, donors, corporations, elected officials, and so many more. This reach increases patient service contacts, healthcare professional referrals, volunteer leaders, advocacy actions, new contacts, Purple Stride participation in fundraisers, new donors, and brand awareness. And of course, all of this engagement helps us to raise the much needed money. Another way we raise money through community engagement is through our DIY fundraising platform called Wage Hope My Way. These fundraisers are promoted to take place as tributes, during special occasions, as athletic events, or as a creative new idea. Wage Hope My Way hosts can create a site to promote their events and collect donations, and the fundraiser events can be led by an individual, community group, service club, or business who wishes to raise money in support of PanCAN, whether it is a virtual campaign or an in-person event. These independent events provide impactful opportunities for volunteers and supporters to engage with us in their own way outside of Purple Stride and provide an opportunity for people to make an impact when they don't have an affiliate near them. Additionally, these events benefit by using the PanCAN logo and are provided a variety of materials and resources. They are promoted through the Action Center on pancan.org and through local affiliates. And if available, volunteers and staff have also been known to attend these fundraisers. We have tremendous assets to support our engagement strategies. Our high reputation in the scientific and medical communities, our model patient program, credibility from our bill passage, expansive network and motivated volunteers, a strong brand and culture, and innovative and groundbreaking initiatives. As you can see, we truly take a comprehensive approach to pancreatic cancer, and we have strengths in our assets across the different areas of focus. We also talk to more pancreatic cancer patients than any organization in the world. We are recognized as a leader amongst industry and patient advocacy groups worldwide, and our reputation is unmatched. We created and are now a member of the Deadliest Cancers Coalition, which is patient groups for cancers with a 5-year survival rate of less than 50%. We also play a leadership role in bringing together pancreatic cancer groups from around the world, including more than 75 organizations from more than 30 countries, to create the World Pancreatic Cancer Coalition and commemorate World Pancreatic Cancer Day each November during Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. Our president and CEO, Julie Fleshman, serves as the chair of the World Pancreatic Cancer Coalition, and PanCAN supports the coalition both financially and with staff resources. World Pancreatic Cancer Day is one day during Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month in November. The goal is to increase outreach globally and continue to grow a strong volunteer network that heightens public awareness and visibility. Knowledge is one of our best tools in the fight against pancreatic cancer. So by providing education about the disease and increasing awareness of its devastating impact, we hope to change the outlook for patients and families. According to a worldwide survey, 60% of people know almost nothing about pancreatic cancer. It's time to start a global conversation. This is one day we can come together to draw attention to pancreatic cancer and highlight the need for greater awareness, funding, and research. By standing in unison against this deadly disease, we hope to save lives and create a brighter future for people around the globe. And now to dig into our most valuable resource, let's talk a little about you and your fellow volunteers. None of this would be possible without our incredible volunteers. Our thousands of volunteers in over 70 communities, and continuing to grow, have inspired more than 1 million people nationwide to take action and raise awareness and funding for pancreatic cancer. With a volunteer network of more than 8,000 people, we raise funds and national awareness of the disease through our volunteer-driven initiatives. We have Purple Stride Run Walk events in communities across the country. We partner with community champions during November to amplify our disease awareness efforts. And we have a variety of mission-driven activities such as advocacy, Purple Light events, local outreach of healthcare professionals, and targeted engagement of survivors and caregivers. Our boots on the ground make this possible, so this is where you come in. Our volunteer network is broken into 3 regions across the country. There are 14 to 18 states per region with several community advocates per region, community partners per region. Each region has 1 associate director and 5 to 6 community relationship managers as support staff. And we do have volunteer types, as I've just mentioned, community partners and affiliates. Community partners participate in many mission-driven activities outside of Purple Stride and live outside of an affiliate area. Community partners can participate in 1 to 5 activities, including advocacy, outreach, November awareness, DIY fundraising through Wage Hope My Way, and connecting the dots. An affiliate is a local group of volunteers similar to a chapter or a board. The affiliate structure is designed around our 3 priority areas of focus: Purple Stride, November awareness, and mission activities. The goal is for affiliates to have these 4 leadership roles, and each leadership role is responsible for building out and leading activity-specific committees. Affiliate chair focuses on the team as a whole, recruiting the volunteer leadership team, motivating, guiding, and ensuring the affiliate is operating as a productive and cohesive group. Purple Stride Chair focuses on recruiting and working with the Purple Stride Planning Committee to execute a successful Purple Stride, taking into consideration the many different components, including fundraising, sponsorship, logistics, marketing, and program education. Mission chairs focus on recruiting and leading a team centered around advocacy, outreach to the public and healthcare professionals, engaging survivors and caregivers, and hosting a Purple Light event. And November awareness chairs lead a committee responsible for implementing November awareness efforts and through year-round engagement. This is what the volunteer network structure looks like with each of the recommended committee structures built out. Again, the affiliate chair supports all leadership roles as well as the social media chair to ensure that the messages being promoted align with all the activities of the affiliate. The Purple Stride Chair Committee consists of a team and individual development chair, sponsorship and flagship chair, event experience chair, media chair, logistics chair, and event day volunteer chair. The November Awareness Chair has committees focused around November awareness efforts throughout the year. And the Mission Chairs Committee consists of an advocacy chair, outreach chair, survivor and caregiver engagement chair, media chair, and Purple Light chair. You'll notice that each leadership role has a media chair built into their committee structure. And this is to ensure that each focus area of activity has a dedicated person for media outreach around those activities. The affiliate is supported by a community relationship manager or a senior, depending on where the affiliate is located. The Pancreatic Cancer Action Network has 2 events that you have now heard me mention several times, and those are Purple Stride and Purple Light. Purple Stride is the walk to end pancreatic cancer. Purple Stride and Purple Ride Stride events raise awareness about the critical mission of the organization and give local residents the opportunity to help make strides toward a better future. Purple Stride events are 5K run walks that are encouraged to be fun and family friendly and of course very purple. Our goal this fiscal year is to engage over 96,000 participants, and our events range in size, hosting anywhere from 500 to 5,000 people. Through peer-to-peer fundraising, these events contribute millions of dollars towards our mission. For participants, it is a journey toward hope that is filled with inspiration. It is a time to honor loved ones fighting pancreatic cancer and remember those who have passed from the disease. The Purple Stride Chair partners with their committee and other volunteers to lead the planning efforts with support from their community relationship manager. Purple Light is a gathering of survivors, family, and friends who have been affected by pancreatic cancer. The events vary by size, and the participants form a community of hope in parks, courtyards, and city venues as they share stories about their connection and the commitment to fight pancreatic cancer. Individuals gain both encouragement and comfort by illuminating purple glow sticks as they hear their loved ones' names read aloud. Any community partner or affiliate can hold a Purple Light. For affiliates with a Purple Stride, it's another way to engage participants and volunteers year-round. Purple Light is entirely volunteer-driven, with the Purple Light Chair recruiting committee members to support finding a venue, securing vendors, and preparing the event program. Typically, the program is an hour or so long, outdoors, and the focus is entirely on the participants. There's usually a survivor speaker, and as mentioned, there is a name reading, which is a powerful demonstration of the reach of this disease. More than 80 communities across the nation host Purple Light events, helping to turn the country purple and shine a light on our cause. Purple Light events take place in either fall or spring, depending on location, and help bring year-round awareness to our shared goal of doubling pancreatic cancer survival. Resources will be an important component to your success as a volunteer. Volunteer Central is an online platform for you to connect with the PanCAN volunteer community, access valuable resources, and inspire others. In your welcome guide, you received information on how to create your account. Please register so that you can personalize your profile, including identifying yourself in your volunteer role for others to see. You can start engaging with the volunteer network and access resources specific for your role. You can also find informational one-sheets to learn more about programs and initiatives from PanCAN. This will be your go-to location to find all resources, recordings, and trainings during your volunteer journey. Our volunteer model is supported by a strong training program to ensure all volunteers are prepared to make an impact in their role. From the moment you start the volunteer onboarding process, we offer weekly orientation and training emails, job-specific guides, webinars, and topical in-person trainings to provide tools and resources to be the most effective in your role. We also have an excellent Volunteer Advisory Council ready and willing to support. Matt Wilson and Michelle Wood are the Volunteer Advisory Council co-chairs. The Volunteer Advisory Council, often referred to as the VAC, is a crucial piece of our volunteer network, ensuring the volunteer voice is always heard. In the online resources information you have received, you will find a link to read about each of the Volunteer Advisory Council members. In addition to the VAC being a great resource for volunteers across the country, they also act as a sounding board for new initiatives and ideas and provide input and generate ideas on programs and projects happening throughout PanCAN. Finally, you are a resource. You are our eyes and ears. Talk about us and introduce our organization to your circle. You never know who you could be talking to. Ask questions about why they care and how they want to be involved. Listen to what they're saying. Then help us to connect the dots. You could be talking to the next $1 million donor, a future caregiver, a future survivor, the next corporate champion, the next person who holds a key to helping us double survival. So thank you for joining our fight as we accelerate progress in the fight against pancreatic cancer. Who do you wage hope for?